There's a pride that comes from employing over 6,000 people in America, welding, fabricating, assembling with local and global parts, delivering a machine just right for you. Japanese engineering meets American ingenuity that builds on our 50-year legacy of quality, reliability, and durability that makes us the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. These aren't just machines. This is a way of life, and that's why Kubota is investing hundreds of millions right here at home. Because we won't settle on what was good enough yesterday. We're innovating with inspiration from the hard-working men and women that proudly sit on our equipment every day. So you can be sure that every one of us have you in mind when a machine or implement comes down that line. We know how hard you work. We'll do the same. This is Kubota.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984.
Well, good morning. It is Friday morning as we head into the weekend.
Woohoo.
I went through a lot of rain coming from Columbiana, and then as I got toward Clanton, I still saw a lot of lightning, heard a little thunder, but no rain. So I don't know what the story is, and it was a very light rain in Columbiana. I was hoping it would be heavier.
I know. It's been lightning. When I walked outside this morning at 5:15, it was lightning so bad, even streaky lightning.
Yeah.
But when I looked at the weather, it said that it wasn't supposed to rain until around 6 p.m., but that today it was 40 to 60%.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get some rain. It's still thundering out there.
Yeah, a little lightning. So, I mean, we'll see. Just be careful.
Yeah. Well, it is 6:05. It is Friday, like Dollar Bill said. Whoop, whoop. We are on the 21st day of August. It's almost gone already.
Yeah, 21st of August. This is the anniversary of my first ill-fated marriage.
Oh, well.
That was my wedding anniversary for the first Mr. and Mrs. Lawson.
Well, congratulations.
Well, I guess. It made it 11 years.
Look at y'all.
They said it wouldn't last.
Oh, me. Well, you're tuning in to Morning Mayhem with Dollar Bill and Taylor. We're so glad that you're joining us this morning. I've not seen you all week. How's your week been?
Been okay.
Good.
Yeah, been a good week. It's just hot.
Yeah, it is hot.
Very
I
hot.
see you're wearing a football season shirt. I
Yeah,
love
Baden
that.
gave me a new shirt to wear.
Very fancy.
I like it. It's neat. You know, it's. I'm proud to have the Piper Peach logo on and the Coca-Cola logo.
Yeah.
The only problem is they're in the back too.
Yeah.
And the inside of the shirt is really itchy where this
That
thing-
fabric.
this thing is, you know, the part that.
Oh, they didn't put the fabric, huh?
Yeah, they didn't do a lining.
Yeah.
So all this morning, you're going to see me reach. If you're watching, I'm going to be scratching.
Yeah.
Because it's just made my back itch where it's just kind of It's almost
Just
like a
tickling.
tickle.
Yeah.
But it makes it itch.
Well,
It's no big deal. I'm really proud of the
beauty is
shirt.
pain.
It's a
You
nice
look
looking
great.
shirt. Do what?
I said, beauty is pain. You look great.
Well, thank you. It's worth the pain. You
Well,
know,
I have a shirt for you, too.
you do really.
I sure do. Hold on, I'll give it to you.
Really?
Yeah. Just to borrow. It's just to borrow, though. Uh-oh.
It's just a what?
Just to borrow.
Oh, to borrow.
Here you go. Oh, it's buttoned.
And I see the theme is fairly tropical,
A little bit Hawaiian, if you will.
Hawaiian. Yeah. And why are we wearing these?
You're never going to guess.
No, I won't. Okay,
You ready? I should have brought my ukulele. My gosh.
all right. So why are we?
Okay. Baden is not sending us to Hawaii, unfortunately.
know that.
But it's National Hawaiian Shirt Day.
Is it really?
Yes.
So you should get out your Hawaiian shirt and wear it today.
I stole some from Bailey. He's got about 30 Hawaiian shirts.
I got a
But-
bunch of them too because they're so comfy.
I know, and that's what Baden said. Baden's like, well, what if he comes in a Hawaiian shirt already? I said, well, then he'll just be
Then
prepared.
I'll already be ready to go.
I'll be already be ready.
I wore my Piper Peach shirt, so see, I hit both.
That's right.
yeah.
But it is Hawaiian Shirt Day. The loosely bright printed cotton shirts that Hawaiian garment workers produced in the 1930s. That's when they started producing them. It's from a Japanese kimono fabric. Originally.
That's why it's so light and comfy, I guess.
I guess so. And they were worn by surfers and then tourists who spread it to the world. And now we're spreading it to you.
Well, I've always liked my Hawaiian shirts. You know, it's not something you wear to, weddings and funerals and to work, but,
Yeah.
it's formal.
I feel like you could dress them up and down. They make the darker colored ones.
You can only dress them up so much.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, you dress up with one, even a very formal one, and go to somebody's wedding and see what somebody says to you.
I mean, just put a coat on over it.
That's really weird.
Why? I don't think so. I think you could pull it off. No.
No, I think Hawaiian shirts are meant to be casually worn, and you should smell like coconut.
Well, I don't have any coconut perfume or anything. We've got some Hawaiian, blue Hawaiian monsters in there.
Yeah, and I think they do have a little coconutty flavor to
Yeah. And thank you to Mr. Mike Baker and Coca-Cola for keeping us well hydrated. I think I will enjoy a blue Hawaiian today.
them. Yeah, that blue
So-
raspberry, I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of blue coconut. That's
Yeah.
like a flavor, a snow cone flavor.
Yeah, I like
what it
that.
makes me think
I
of.
always, that was one of my favorite ices was the blue raspberry icy. And then there's a drink that I used to get a bartender to make me that used the blue curacao and had coconut rum in it, and it was
Yeah.
very tasty. It was blue raspberry coconut, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, it was good.
Very good. So if you are wanting to celebrate something today and you have a Hawaiian shirt, put it on.
Put it on, dance about.
Dance about. That's right.
Wear pants.
Please do.
I put on my Hawaiian shirt and dance around the office, and people say, "Go put some pants on."
Yeah. But I mean, at least they don't know that you're not wearing pants right now because of the table.
Yeah, that's right, because of the table.
Yeah. So it don't matter.
It's like the guys at the TV station. I used to, when I worked at Channel 6 for years, doing their voice work, it was funny because sometimes some of the reporters would come running in. They'd been out covering like a golf tournament or a sporting event, especially the sports guys, and they're wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And they'd put on a suit, a shirt, and a tie, and a jacket, and go running in there. And they were in shorts from the waist down, but you couldn't see anything because the shot was just mid-chest up. And it was funny to see them you looked at them in the studio, and they're wearing shorts and tennis shoes. And when you look on the monitor, they looked all like they were in a suit and tie and a coat.
Yeah.
It was funny.
That is funny. Well, that probably wouldn't be very wedding appropriate either, I don't think.
Wouldn't be what?
Wedding appropriate. Do you?
I don't know. I went to a wedding one time where they were lucky people were wearing pants because the guys got so drunk the night before that they were still drunk the morning of the wedding. I mean, that bride was so mad at her soon-to-be husband and his friends, because they really came in still pretty drunk. And the ones that weren't drunk were so hungover, they were not fit for the wedding. One of them actually, fell out during the wedding. He was standing there and he locked his knees and he just went down like a piece of timber.
Is this what
and
happened?
They let him lay there. They didn't do anything. They just, because it was the wedding was going on.
Yeah.
The preacher just stopped and looked at him and went, and do you take this woman to, right back to it.
Was this 11 years ago today that this happened?
No, I started drinking 11 years and 1 day ago. The day after the wedding's when I started drinking, when I realized this was not a good thing I'd gotten into. It's funny about that too, because I really knew the woman I married, my first wife, is a wonderful human being. She really was. But she had, as we would say nowadays, issues. Mm-hmm. And they were legitimate issues from her upbringing.
Yeah.
But I went with her for we dated three and a half years before it wasn't like we rushed into the marriage.
Yeah.
And there's some things I guess you just never really know about people till you actually live with them day to day.
Yeah.
And, when people talk about, I've been married twice, currently married to Mary, and it's wonderful, but I was married before, and they'll say, well, how long? I said, I was happily married for 3 years. And they said, it only went 3 years? I said, no, it went 11, but I was only happy for 3. And that's what happened. When you first got married, it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
And then as issues bubbled up, things with her family and her issues, man, it got bad.
Oh.
And it was sad because she had issues in her family that were really bad. And she had a sister and 2 brothers. There were 4 kids. The 2 brothers are wonderful. We're still friends to this day. Her and her sister were the ones that were messed up.
Yeah.
And it had to do, with sexual abuse. And, yeah. And I didn't know that when we were dating or married. They didn't share anything. They were hiding it, and they were still dealing with it. And then as the years went on, it was like PTSD. It just got worse and worse.
Yeah.
So, you just never know about stuff like that. You don't really learn about people till you live with them,
Yeah.
Now, Mary could give you the same story in reverse about me. She married me and thought, well, this will be nice. And now 30 years later, she'll tell you, holy cow, I didn't know what I was getting into. Of course, she was a bank vice president, been a banker all her life. Bankers are a little bit, they're business people, and they're very highbrow, and they deal with money issues, and they're kind of buttoned up. And then she married a disc jockey, a radio announcer. She'll tell you that, and I had lunch yesterday, a long 3-hour lunch yesterday with my former boss and one of my best friends, a guy that was in radio for his whole life too. And we were sitting at lunch yesterday just going over stories. And we both looked at each other and said, now that we look back on our lives and our careers, this is the nuttiest profession you could be in. It's crazy. The things that we've seen and done and experienced with just all the craziness of old. Now, it doesn't happen that much now, but in the old days, being in radio was like the Wild Wild West. I mean, there was, it was sex and drugs and rock and roll back in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and there was, the mafia was involved, and there was money going under the table. There was payola, they called it back then.
Yeah.
They tried to wipe it out. It just changed. There's still payola, but it's in a different form now for the big companies.
Now a lot of it's AI.
AI is killing the radio profession.
Yeah.
And there are now thousands, not hundreds, thousands of out-of-work radio people who are really good people, hard workers, talented people who can't find a job because there's none left.
Yeah.
I worked for iHeart, and that is by far the biggest media company in America. Mm-hmm. We had 900 and something radio stations. The next biggest company down owns like 285.
Oh my gosh.
How huge they are.
Yeah.
And when they first bought us out, we were with Clear Channel, and then they became iHeart. We had 35 people, air talent, 35 people in the air staff. Mm-hmm. But this was like for 18 stations or 16 stations. We had the Magic, we had the Q, 103.7 the Q, we had the Vulcan, we had Bull, we had Talk Radio. So we had a big conglomerate.
Yeah.
We had 35 people on air. There's now 2.
Oh my gosh.
Same number of stations, same number of shows.
There's
2
two people.
That's how little now is. That's why this is amazing, because there's almost no live and local anymore.
Yeah.
Everything you listen to on radio now, corporate radio, big city radio, is not live and not local. It's either syndicated from another state or way off, or it's pre-taped ahead of time.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's not a human. You can go to Tuscaloosa, where we've got like 5 radio stations, ACT, and a couple of, 3 or 4 of them. They're all Clear Channel stations. No one's in the building. It's the creepiest thing.
That's so
you unlock
weird.
the door. You go in a radio station. There's studios. They're all dark. Place smells musty. You look in the room, and there's a board.
Just abandoned.
And you can just. It is. And you see the little things doing this where people are talking and music's playing.
That's
not
crazy.
a living human being in the building.
Oh my gosh.
One guy goes down there about every week and checks the technical,
Yeah.
make sure the transmitters are still on.
Make sure no mice came in and chewed
No,
the
there was
wires
mice.
up.
Matter of fact, that's the problem. It's an abandoned building.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
Oh my gosh.
It really is. Gadsden, not a living. There's one guy in Gadsden that goes by, checks and there was 2 stations there. The big Wax, WAAX, and another one.
Mm-hmm.
Tuscaloosa. Huntsville, Decatur. There's 3 stations up there. One girl. She does.
gosh.
One girl named Blair Maples does the morning show, and that's it. No one else is live or local.
That's
the
so
Bull now
crazy.
has no one live or local.
Yeah.
It's all syndicated. Bobby Bones out of Nashville does the morning show. They've got syndicated and pre-taped stuff all day long. No one is sitting in a studio live. I don't know what is going to happen if we have another 9/11 or something. I don't know how, and especially if it's something local, a big tornado like that came through Tuscaloosa and
Yeah.
Birmingham, where we had to cover it locally. I don't know how they're going to do it, because there's no one there to cover it.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
Well-
So this is an amazing thing with us here with Piper Peach Radio, because we are here live.
Yeah.
We come in every day, or I don't, but y'all come in every day. You do the show. You're responsible to talk about things in the market, things that are going on in Chilton County and all around Clanton and in Clanton. You've got, we're going to have the education superintendent
Yes.
on.
Mr. Corey.
Mr.
Corey
Clemens.
Clements.
He's going to be in a little bit to talk about our education system, the schools and stuff. You don't get that anywhere else anymore. It's all
No.
gone. It's all dead.
I know, that's what we were talking about yesterday, me and Therese, because yesterday was National Radio Day, and we were given a little background on Piper Peach and where it got started over 40 years ago. And anyway, we said that we love it being live because we could record and, just post a video and post it later, but then we wouldn't be able to talk back and forth with the listeners and read the comments and have all those laughs
And we're
stuff
local.
that we do. Yeah.
And we are local.
We are local.
It's
But-
you can't you can't get local on a morning show anywhere hardly in the nation, except maybe a couple of the talk shows that are left.
Yeah.
Like ERC up in Birmingham and the news talk stations. They still do a little bit, but not
Yeah.
like it used to be.
Well, speaking of comments and local, Mr. Aaron is in our comments. He said, "Do you like pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?"
It's okay. My wife likes the Hawaiian pizza, so she likes the ham and the pineapple on a pizza.
Yeah.
And I can eat a piece of it. That's not my choice.
You're
I
not
would never
ordering
order it.
Yeah.
If it's in front of me, I can eat it. Eat
Same.
one
Yeah,
piece
me
or two,
too.
and it's okay. It's like pepperoni. I'm not a huge pepperoni fan.
Really?
But I can eat pepperoni pizza. I like it okay, one or two. I don't like meat on a pizza. I'm one of those weirdos. I like plenty of mushrooms and onion.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe peppers and stuff. I just don't like a lot of meat on a pizza because it's so greasy.
It is greasy. It's
Yeah.
real bad heartburn.
Now, you give me a pizza, meat lover's pizza in front of me,
Yeah.
I'm going to eat
Oh, yeah.
at least one piece of it. But my choice is not to. But I would not order Hawaiian pizza, but if it's there, I'll eat it. Or pineapple.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you like pineapple?
I'm the same. I'm not going to order it, but if it's there, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
Bailey, a lot of time, gets pepperoni and pineapple instead of ham and pineapple.
Well,
and it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like
a
a Hawaiian.
spicy sweet.
Yeah.
So y'all leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? And then go ahead and click the arrow next to where you comment. Share us with your feed, with your friends, because like Dollar Bill said, we are the only local radio station that has a live morning show, and we want you to be part of our community. So with that being said, go comment, go share, go rehydrate, get you a water or not a beverage, but a Coca-Cola this morning, or a Monster, and we'll be right back after the break. It's 6:22. You're tuning in to Morning Mayhem.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you. Whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss, Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
There's a pride that comes from employing over 6,000 people in America. Welding, fabricating, assembling with local and global parts. Delivering a machine just right for you. Japanese engineering meets American ingenuity that builds on our 50-year legacy of quality, reliability, and durability that makes us the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. These aren't just machines. This is a way of life. And that's why Kubota is investing hundreds of millions right here at home. Because we won't settle on what was good enough yesterday. We're innovating with inspiration from the hard-working men and women that proudly sit on our equipment every day. So you can be sure that every one of us have you in mind when a machine or implement comes down that line. We know how hard you work. We'll do the same. This is Kubota.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you. whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Good morning. It is 6:28 on this Friday morning. I heard a little thunder, seen a little lightning. I'm hoping we do get a little rain, actually, because we do need that. And have you seen where we've got the El Nino, the biggest one in the history since they've been watching El Ninos? You know, with whether you believe in what's going on with climate change and all that, the point is we are warmer now than the Earth has been in many years since we've been looking at it.
Yeah.
This El Nino that's coming across now out of Africa is supposedly the biggest El Nino they've ever tracked, and they're thinking that the Pacific waters could be 3 degrees warmer than normal. Now that sounds like nothing, right? 3 degrees of the ocean water is supposedly catastrophic.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That is, half a degree can be damaging. 1 degree is amazing. 3 degrees,
I don't know.
And so they're saying they don't really know what it's going to do. You know, it swirls across the earth, coming off Africa and goes through the Caribbean and comes around and goes to the Pacific. And that's the thing that causes whether or not you have massive rainfalls and flooding or massive drought.
Yeah.
And this one, it causes both for some weird, a system that's spinning causes high pressure in one area, extremely high pressure, and extremely low pressure, so that the extremes are worse. So when you have this kind of El Nino that apparently that's coming across the earth this next fall and winter, we could have extremely cold, wet snow or drought. And you know, for the West, Lake Mead and Lake Powell, the two biggest lakes in the northern hemisphere that keep all the water for everywhere from LA to, Vegas and all that, they're the lowest they've ever been in the history of the lakes.
Yeah.
So you're looking at, oh, thank you, baby. Look, we got reloaded. So, they don't have water out there. So if they don't have a good snowfall that melts and gives them water, then the drought, they're already in a 7-year drought. And the water is so low in some of these lakes that even the hydroelectric dams can't work hardly.
Oh, man.
So that means no power for LA, no power for Vegas, no power for those states. And the damage that's done to the hydroelectric dams because the water is so low. And of course, it also means water for irrigation, food, drinking, everything else. So it's getting kind of scary. So they don't know, I think at this point, with this big El Nino that's developing this year, what's going to happen between now and next summer as far as drought and rain and cold and snow.
Yeah.
But they say it will be extreme one way or the other. I mean,
Oh,
it's not going to be
gosh.
just piddly. It's either going to be really bad or good wet or bad, either heavy drought or too much rain.
Yeah.
Flooding or drought. It's
No
pretty much what we're
happy
looking at.
mediums.
No happy mediums. So it's kind of scary because they can see it developing now, and they say it's the biggest they've ever been since they've been studying weather for 200 years.
Yeah.
They've never seen anything like this one.
That is scary. You know, I was talking to a lady the other day at one of the local clothing stores, and we were talking about how hot it was. And she said that when she was younger, August was not this hot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, again, it's first of all, you go back, your memories. You know, when you're young, the heat doesn't affect you like it does when you're older, when you're an adult. I remember in the summer, we didn't have air conditioning in my house until I was in high school. We had fans. And I can remember how miserable it was at night to try to sleep until we got all the fans going. But I was a kid, and it didn't bother. I think we probably had some summers that were worse than others.
Yeah.
Now it's just more consistent. You know, now the heat gets here and stays here more.
Yeah.
I think that's probably true.
Probably
they can prove it
so.
with the numbers.
Yeah.
But there was still really, I mean, I think there was a time in the 30s when they considered one summer was a summer that it was like the summer of hell, they call it, or something, because it never got below. And I remember in the 80s, or maybe early 90s, when I was working in Birmingham, we played Christmas music for a full 2 weeks because we started when the temperature got over 100 degrees and stayed there. We said, as a publicity joke, we started playing Christmas music and we were going to play Christmas music until the temperature got under 100.
Yeah.
And we played Christmas music for like a week and a half.
I bet you
we
loved
never
that.
thought we thought it'd be a day,
Yeah.
maybe two.
Oh my gosh.
But I remember that summer because it was scary then, and that was
Yeah.
25, 30 years ago.
That's crazy.
So we've always had extremes. You know,
Yeah.
they had that one year that they said in the 1890s or something, it was called the year of winter, and it snowed in June and July and all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was a volcanic eruption somewhere in Europe, and it put all that ash in the upper atmosphere, so the sun couldn't warm it, and the whole Earth dropped by, so many degrees that it was like a year of winter.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, this stuff is cyclical or cyclical. Anyway, it happens in cycles, and you never know.
Just like, that's just about everything. Everything comes
and
back
goes.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of weather, so it says that it's raining right now. I can't see outside to let you know if it's raining in Clanton. But according to my phone,
hear
it
it
is. It was thundering. It's not as loud now. But it's supposed to cool down. It's not supposed to be as hot today. The high
God.
is 92. And all next week, starting Monday, the high is only up until the high 80s. So
That sounds so
fingers
good to me.
crossed that it stays.
Oh,
Pretty
that sounds
cool.
good to me.
Yes. And also, we have everyone in our comments are voting yes for pineapple on pizza. We have no one that said no.
Well, then we've got an audience full of weirdos. Just kidding.
I think we knew that if they're spending their morning watching
Well,
us.
you know what yeah, really, if you're willing to watch us, you're a weirdo. I always tell people, thank you people say, well, I've listened to you for years. I say, well, thank you for lowering your standards enough to listen to me. Pineapple on pizza, it's one of those things, if you like pineapple, why wouldn't you like it on pizza sometimes?
Why would you not?
I don't think you eat, some people, I guess Mary likes, well, Mary's not a huge pizza eater.
I know, that's how Bailey is too. He don't like pizza that much.
I only like the really thin crust pizza. I
Yeah.
want a crust that's like a cracker.
Really?
Yeah, thin and crispy. It
Yeah.
pops.
I like the cheese stuffed crust.
Too much bread to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I like just a thin crust pizza. And like I said, no meat on it, which freaks some
Yeah.
people out. Because most of my friends, they order the meat lovers. They want buffalo and emu and monkey, dog. I mean, they want every meat in the world. You can't put enough meat on their pizzas. And I've seen them order pizzas from places that just each slice was 7 pounds.
Oh, gosh.
Meat.
I do. Oh, it is raining.
I hear it.
I hear it now. I do like a white sauce pizza.
I'm up and down on that too.
Really?
Once in
like
a while, it's a
spinach
nice
and
treat.
Alfredo. Oh,
Yeah,
so
once in
good.
a while, it's nice as a change, but I don't really consider that pizza.
Yeah.
That's something pizza-like or pizza-esque.
It's in the pizza family.
Yeah,
it's the
a pizza.
cousin.
It's just like the if you get the really Chicago-style deep dish pizza where when you cut it, it flows like lava. And
The
it's,
pizza pies.
yeah, those are pizza-esque for
Yeah.
me too. If you can't pick up a slice and fold it over or eat it in your hand with a slice, that's pizza.
Yeah. Miss Tammy said that it's thundering and lightning, but no rain where she is. That's how it's been here for
Where
a
is
little
she?
while. I don't know. Where are you, Tammy?
Because we're getting rain right now.
Yeah,
I'm itching
and I
again.
think it's kind of moving south because you said that you came across it on your way here from
Yep.
Columbiana. I did not from Rabina, and now it's here. So
Yeah.
you may get
It must
some.
be coming south. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of south, did you see where the two fishermen were floating adrift in or off the coast of Mexico? Huh?
Well, they were adrift
They were adrift
for how long?
for 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah, it says that they were rescued on Wednesday, but they were floating adrift more than 100 miles off the coast of Mexico. No food or water.
No food or water.
No
5
food or water
days.
for 5 days.
Did they
And
catch fish and eat them?
No, they were in a fishing cooler.
They were in a what?
A fishing cooler.
Cooler.
That's what it said.
So they were just a
So-
boat that had cold ice in there for the fish to be stored in that they caught?
I don't know how they got off the boat. I don't know how the cooler got off the boat.
Oh, they were floating on a...
They were in the
like
cooler.
a cooler?
Yeah.
What?
Yep, they were in
So
the
they
cooler.
weren't in a boat?
No.
Did they fall overboard? What's the story there?
It
Did
didn't
the
say.
boat sink?
It just says that the search and rescue was called. That the company that they worked for called the search and rescue. They said that they had lost contact with the two men, and the Mexican Navy was sent out, and they searched by sea and air.
They must have... The boat must have sunk.
I wonder so, but was it just the two of them on the boat, you think?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know.
But it says that in a large fishing cooler 150 miles off the coast of Chiapas, a southern state in Mexico that borders Guatemala, they were found.
That's bizarre.
I know. So, different kind of floater, but I'm glad they found them. They did go to the hospital. I'm sure they had to get fluids and stuff.
5 days, yeah.
Yeah.
In a cooler.
But they survived, so I don't know. What if you were on an island? What would be the one thing that you would hope that you had on the island besides water?
What would be the what?
The one item that you had on the island
Besides water?
besides water.
Food.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you can't take a lunchbox. Like if your boat crashed and you saw an island and you could only grab one thing to take with you, swim to the island. What are you taking with you?
Probably a knife or a machete or something that would allow you to make shelter and find food or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That or a nice, scantily clad dancing woman. You might die on the island, but you'd die happy.
Well, at least you'll die happy.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Well, y'all, it is 6:40. It is Friday. It's August the 21st, and it is a thunderstorm outside. It does sound like the plants are getting a good, nice drink of water.
I hope so.
We will be right back after the break. When we come into the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to have Mr. Corey Clements on. You don't want to miss it. He's the superintendent for Chilton County. So stay tuned. We're going to go to break. You're tuning in to Morning Mayhem with Piper Peach.
There's a pride that comes from employing over 6,000 people in America. Welding, fabricating, assembling with local and global parts. Delivering a machine just right for you. Japanese engineering meets American ingenuity that builds on our 50-year legacy of quality, reliability, and durability that makes us the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. These aren't just machines. This is a way of life. And that's why Kubota is investing hundreds of millions right here at home. Because we won't settle on what was good enough yesterday. We're innovating with inspiration from the hard-working men and women that proudly sit on our equipment every day. So you can be sure that every one of us have you in mind when a machine or implement comes down that line. We know how hard you work. We'll do the same. This is Kubota.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Good morning. It is about 16 minutes now before 7 o'clock. Raining pretty handily here in downtown Clanton. So wherever you are this morning, I hope you're getting some rain if you need it. And if you got to get out in this to go to school or work, just be careful. The roads are going to be really slippery. You know, the sad thing is when you go so long with the heat and no rain, stuff builds up on the roads. You know, the oil and the dirt and the dust. And man, that first rainfall can turn that into ice until it washes on off and people drive and kind of disrupt it. So be careful because you can sure slide and brakes will not work. You'll just be sliding. I mean, it's really dangerous until the rain and the traffic kind of cleans the roads a little bit.
That's right. It does get slick. Well, thank you so much to Chilton Mobile Home for sponsoring our show.
Thank you.
Yes, and also to Putter Up. Today would be a good day to go to Putter Up. It's either been really hot, now it's raining. Go putt inside.
Yeah, the beauty of Putter Up is it's indoors.
That's
so it doesn't
right.
matter how hot it is. Doesn't matter if it's storming. You can go have a great time at Putter Up and do something. Kids can enjoy themselves. They don't have to be outside or just sitting in the house on their tablets. Playing at Putter Up is a lot better for them than sitting at home on a tablet.
Oh, absolutely. And they have an arcade now, too. So they got a little something for everybody. They're such a treasure to our community and to us. So thank you to Putter Up. Speaking of treasure, did you see where some contractors in Belgium, they were renovating a cellar, and they found in the wall of the cellar just
Tons of
Millions
gold.
of dollars of gold.
Gold
Yes.
coins.
Gold
Yeah.
coins, gold bars.
And what's bizarre is
gold nuggets.
they think it's from the 50s or early 60s.
I know, that's what I saw.
We're not talking about 100 years ago or 200. This is not old gold.
Yeah, it was
This is gold from the
stamped.
60s because they got the little gold bars in there that they have dates on them and they know exactly when they're from.
Yeah.
And they're from the late 50s all the way through the mid 60s.
Crazy.
Who has millions and millions of gold dollars and gold coins that you hide in a wall and then either forget? I guess what happens is you die.
Well, I wonder though if that was even theirs or if because the contractors that found it, they were hired by the homeowner, it said. And so it was
Well-
an 18-year-old guy that was working on the construction crew that found it. And he called the contractors. They called the homeowners. So I wonder if the homeowners had bought the property and just didn't know. Or if
I would think so.
Yeah.
Because if they knew there was gold in their wall,
Yeah.
and they knew a contractor was going to
I mean,
be opening the wall up, wouldn't you go get it first? So that
Yes.
they wouldn't, because they could have stolen it.
I know, and I don't think that they took any of it. I think that the kid immediately let
Yeah,
them
well,
know.
And of course, you don't know if he knew. He may have found a box, a metal box,
yeah.
and not known what it was, and they didn't know what was in it till they opened it. You don't know. I mean, I don't know how that
yeah.
works, but
That's a smart thought. See,
Yeah.
my brain pictured them chiseling into this wall and the
Seeing
gold just
gold.
falling
yeah,
out.
I'm sure it was in something.
I bet
but
it
you know, the
was.
thing is, how does that happen? How do you have that? I mean, sure, you find maybe a couple of gold coins in a little box or something. That could have been somebody that actually forgot they'd put it in there, or
Yeah.
they sold the house and obviously somebody had put it in there in the 60s or early 70s or something to hide it, and then he sold the property. But they must have died.
They had to
or
have.
gotten dementia or something and didn't remember it, because who forgets that you've got millions and millions of dollars
Yeah.
in gold in a wall that you've hit?
Because it said that it was $10.8 million worth.
Unbelievable. Of course, that doesn't have to
Crazy.
be that much gold.
But can you imagine, your parent getting dementia or, just getting older, getting ready to move on to the next life or afterlife, and being like, the gold. And you're like, okay, Mom.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay.
I got a bunch of gold coins
You see the
hidden in the
streets
wall.
of gold?
Yes, ma'am. I see. Yeah. We also have angels singing in the room with you, and yeah, it makes you wonder. But yeah, I've always been fascinated with it. You hear sometimes where these people will buy a couch at or a desk at a thrift store for $20, and they take it home and they're going through the couch to see if they can recover it or whatever, and they find an envelope with $20,000,
Yeah.
$50,000 in cash tucked down in the couch, or under the
Crazy.
sofa, and you just say, I might forget a 20.
Yeah.
I ain't forgetting $20,000 that I've tucked into it. I'm sorry.
The
I can't
closest.
afford. First of all, I don't have. If I've got that, I murdered somebody, or
Yeah.
or robbed a store
Or
or
found
something.
it.
Yeah,
Found
held
it in your
somebody
thrift store
up.
couch.
But yeah, it's crazy. I saw that story, and it just brings up all kinds of possibilities of how in the world that could have happened. And being that it was in Belgium, there are homes and buildings in Belgium that are 600 years old, 500 years old. So I assumed when they first said that they had found in a wall a bunch of gold coins, I thought from the 1700s
Yeah,
or
me too.
1800s. No, this is from the 60s. When I was in high school.
It's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. Do they still make gold bars?
Oh yeah,
Really?
The Cougarand is it German? It's little gold bars that look like Hershey's, little miniature Hershey's.
See, and I was thinking like
No,
king
a
size.
real gold bar like you think of in Fort
Yeah.
Knox. Each one of those is worth gold is what, $4,000 an ounce?
Yeah, that's why I was like, my gosh.
Yeah, so those bars that are big are worth like 150. I mean, I don't know what they're worth. I could look it up. But the whole point is now these Cougarands look like they're called gold bars, but they're the size of like the miniature Hershey's
Yeah.
that you get. They're just about that size, exactly. About that thick and that big, you know.
That's
And they're
wild.
worth a lot of money. I mean, they're a cougar hen. I don't know what a cougar hen's worth now anyway. Let's see.
Well, the
She tells
closest-
me. How much is a cougar hen worth?
Oh,
She didn't get that.
she's not listening.
How much is a cougar hen worth? She's working with ChatGPT.
I bet she is.
Oh, the cougar can be a wild animal or a woman looking for a younger man. I hate you, ChatGPT.
Let's try mine. It's got a cougar in.
Cougar hen.
How much is a cougar in worth in dollars? How much is a cougar in worth in dollars?
Do you want me to use ChatGPT to answer that?
Yes.
I guess so.
ChatGPT asks, the term cougar can refer to various things, including the wild animal, a model of car, or a type of RV.
See? Stupid.
We're
stupid
talking about
Chat.
we're talking about little gold bars that are like the size of a Hershey bar you
Miniature
get while you're
Hershey.
trick or treating.
It doesn't understand.
If you mean gold bars roughly the size of a small candy bar, their value depends on their weight and the current price of gold. A typical small gold bar like a 1 ounce bar is worth about the market price of gold per ounce, which is currently around $2,400 per ounce. Heavier bars like 5 ounce or 10 ounce bars are proportionally more valuable.
Okay, there we go.
So if it's, $2,400 an ounce for gold right now, can you imagine what a little 4 ounce bar is worth?
Yeah.
$8,000.
Yeah.
$7,000 bucks. So.
That's so crazy. I want to know what happened to Siri. I didn't know Siri quit from my phone. Who's this person on my phone now? You know,
It's
Siri.
ChatGPT.
Siri used to be.
Well, you have to start out with,
A chick.
don't you have to say, hey Siri, to get her?
I don't have that turned on. Maybe I should turn it on.
Hey Siri, what time is it?
Hey Siri. I don't know. Apparently, our comments on our live though think you're saying something about LBGTQ plus.
No, great. Just what I want to deal
Yeah,
with.
well, congratulations to them on that treasure hunt. The most money I've ever found at my house is like $5 when I was washing Bailey's clothes. So
I found a 20 one time in a jacket pocket, and I was thrilled.
yeah,
I think I went right out and bought $20 worth of Taco Bell right then.
lady. You know, you used to could get a lot at Taco Bell with that. Now you could barely get a box and a drink.
When I was in college, I ran a little Mexican restaurant called Taco Casa. The most expensive thing on the menu was what was called the Sancho. And basically, it's everything that's in a taco wrapped up in a big burrito.
Yeah.
And so it's like a big burrito that has lettuce, cheese, it's everything you'd have in a taco in a burrito wrapper. It's big, it's got lots of meat in it.
Huh.
And it was 79 cents.
Oh my gosh.
Now they're like $4 and something.
I bet.
So you
yeah.
could go to Taco Casa or Taco Bell. You could frog your sides. You could eat so much food for $3. It was unbelievable, with a drink.
Man.
I mean,
know.
tacos were 29 cents a piece. Burritos were like 45 cents.
That's crazy. You can't
Well,
get
don't
anything.
forget,
You
when I
can't
was
even
a-
get the sauce for your taco now
Right.
for 45 cents.
When I was a kid, hamburgers were 15 cents.
Yeah. That's so wild. Oh my gosh.
Cheeseburgers were 17 cents, I think. 2 cents more for the cheese.
I've never. The only thing I remember being relatively cheap is Taco Bell had the little snack meal where you got a small bag of Doritos, a small drink, and they had like,
Yeah.
you could choose between a chicken burrito, a chicken taco, and a.
Well, I think
Bean
when I was a
burrito.
kid, now I may be wrong, but I don't think I am. I swear to God, I think Crystal hamburgers when I was a kid
Yeah.
was a nickel.
I bet. So small.
Yeah, they were a little square burger, was a nickel a piece. And we went downtown Birmingham in like I'm going to say 65, 66. Me and my buddy Raymond. Raymond had never had never had a Crystal.
Really?
So they had a fancy Crystal in downtown Birmingham where they actually brought you your crystals on an actual plate, like a china plate.
Wow, like a
Yeah,
crystal
it was real
plate.
fancy.
Huh.
So we go there and we sit at the counter, and Raymond says, I've I've never been here before. I said, oh, you're going to love them. They're great little cheeseburgers. So I said, I want 4 Crystal cheeseburgers. And he looked at me because he's thinking full-size burgers, right?
Oh, yeah.
And she said, what about you? And he says, 1 cheeseburger. And she went, 1? And he goes, uh-huh. So she said, all right. And so they come and I never forget seeing his face. They bring him this big plate that was the size of a dinner plate with 1 little square Crystal burger sitting in the middle of it, And I had my 4 or 5.
And he had no idea.
No, it's funny.
You get cheese on your Crystals or you do no cheese?
No, I like cheese.
Yeah. I like them without cheese.
Yeah, I like them with cheese.
But I'll tell you, Crystals has the best chili cheese fries. Oh, my gosh.
Do they? I haven't been to a Crystal
Yes,
in
and
so
they don't
long.
taste as good when you eat them with a fork because if you just eat them with your fingers.
No, I hadn't been to Crystal in years.
They're so good.
Crystal was where I used to eat when I was drunk.
Oh.
That was it. There were 2 places. If you were out when I was in college, and you had a night out drinking, and you were pretty drunk, you would either go to Waffle House or Crystal.
Yeah.
That was the 2 choices after midnight.
Man, poor Brian.
What?
Poor Brian.
Yeah,
We don't have a Crystal here.
Yeah, he doesn't, and he's been banned from Waffle House.
Telling you.
But
poor guy.
the Crystal was funny because I was so broke in college. It was before I was working at the radio station or the Taco Casa.
Mm-hmm.
I was broke as a just church mouse, and me and my buddies would go out, and they were nice enough to usually buy me a beer or 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
But we found out we could go to the Crystal downtown Tuscaloosa on the Strip, and they also at that time served great fried chicken, just like Jack's does. Fried chicken like legs and thighs and
like
breast.
Sunday at Grandma's.
Exactly, and it was good chicken. We found out that they could only leave it under the light for an hour. And at the end of the hour, they'd dump it all in a garbage bag, take it out and throw it in the dumpster. So we'd wait
No, you didn't.
and watch. Yeah. And you'd see the guy come out with a plastic garbage bag, throw it in the dumpster, and go back in. We'd go get it and have chicken out just a feast of chicken out of the dumpster.
That's terrible. Have you ever been to White Castle?
I have.
Did
been
you
to
like
White Castle.
White Castle?
This is Crystal.
We had White
It's
Castle.
no different.
I
to
did
me.
not like it.
Really?
No.
I didn't detect it being literally any
meat.
different from a Crystal, really.
The meat tasted
Really? It
different.
tastes different?
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't
I don't
like
know how
it.
you can taste the meat on a Crystal or a White Castle. It's that thick. It's as thick as a piece of
I
school
think
paper.
it's because it wasn't soggy. Crystals are always kind of a little
They are a
soggy.
little greasy, soggy.
Yeah. This was not.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, it almost tasted the way a cat's tongue feels, like sandpapery.
I might like that.
Oh. Okay.
I
Well.
like it when my cat licks me because it's all like little sandpaper but wet.
Exfoliation.
Yeah, I liked it. I'll scratch her butt and she'll lick my
Oh, my
arm. You scratch above her tail up
Yeah.
there back there, and she'll just start licking, and it's like, that feels good.
I do not agree with you on that one, but that's
Really?
okay. That's all right. We'll just agree to disagree.
You mean on the
So-
Crystal? I mean the White Castle or the cat?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's 7:00. You know what that means?
No,
No?
it means it's 7:00.
It is 7:00. And that means Mr. Corey Clements is here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. So we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to have Mr. Corey Clements on with the Board of Education, our superintendent here in Chilton County. So go fix you another cup of coffee, put on your rain boots because it's going to hopefully be some mud puddles out there from that little thunderstorm we had. And we'll be right back. You're tuning in to Morning Mayhem with Dollar Bill and Taylor.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you. whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
There's a pride that comes from employing over 6,000 people in America, welding, fabricating, assembling with local and global parts, delivering a machine just right for you. Japanese engineering meets American ingenuity that builds on our 50-year legacy of quality, reliability, and durability that makes us the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. These aren't just machines. This is a way of life. And that's why Kubota is investing hundreds of millions right here at home. Because we won't settle on what was good enough yesterday. We're innovating with inspiration from the hard-working men and women that proudly sit on our equipment every day. So you can be sure that every one of us have you in mind when a machine or implement comes down that line. We know how hard you work. We'll do the same. This is Kubota.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984.
Good morning. It's 7:05, 5 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Friday morning as we head into the weekend. And, of course, this is really about the first or into the second week of school in Chilton County. And I know Shelby County just started last week, was their first week. I live right next to a high school, so I can sure tell when things are going on there. But we have Corey Clements here, our director, or I guess you are the superintendent of our educational system in the county of Chilton, right?
Yes, sir.
Chilton County. How many How many schools are in the system?
We have 12 what you would call traditional schools, and then our Career Tech Center and our alternative schools. So 14 buildings, actually 15 campuses, because Verbena Elementary School is on a separate site from the high school. So
Oh, it is?
15 campuses.
That's a big system.
That's a big system. We're in the one of the 25 largest systems in the state.
Is it right? I didn't know
Yes,
that.
sir. Our enrollment's at about 7,600 right now, and so that's going to put us somewhere between 23rd to 25th largest in the state of Alabama.
I had no idea. That's amazing. Well,
either.
you got your hands full, and of course, school's been going. All right, so we're basically ending the second week y'all been in session?
It's our 12th day. We are 1/15 of the way through with the school year.
1/15. That's hard to believe. When I was a kid, Corey, we always finished up the year around May 20th or 21st. I don't know why I remember that, but we never went back to school until after Labor Day. You remember you'd go, typically you'd go to if you were in high school or junior high, you'd go to the school on Friday before Labor Day and see where your homeroom was or whatever, but you didn't do classes or anything, meet your teachers, and then you went to school the Tuesday after Labor Day. And now with the different way that we have our breaks, our fall and all, y'all start back far earlier than I'm used to, and it's more in the summer. Does that cause extra problems as far as, like we were talking before we came on the air about air conditioning and the safety? I mean, this heat has been hideous. Does that cause extra problems starting so early still in the summer?
Well, for one, it's more expensive because you're running air, and to back up a little bit, before I ever even started in education, somewhere between 93 and 98, when I was in college, the legislature wanted to give teachers a pay raise.
Right.
That was a big thing, and the compromise they kind of settled on was we'll pay teachers more money, but we're going to add duty days. And so we went from a typical teacher working 180 days to now they work 187 days.
I got you.
So
Added a whole other week.
So 7 work days have been added. Well, that's 5 school days and then 2 more. So that's 7 school days have been added. And so where they got added was on the front end.
Is that right? I didn't know that. So it was just kind of chunked in that you got to start that much earlier than you used to.
But back to your original question, of course it's more expensive because you're running air conditioning for an additional 7 days. It's problematic running buses in the afternoon because we do not have air conditioning on all our buses. Now we're in the middle of a plan to transition all of our buses to air conditioned buses.
I did not know that school buses could have air conditioning.
Yeah, we ordered 19 buses last year that will have air conditioning, and then we'll order 9 more this year. And our plan is, as we renew our fleet over the next 10 years, that everyone would do. The additional cost that you incur as a system is about between $45,000 to $50,000 per bus.
Per bus.
To add air conditioning and
$45,000 to $50,000 per bus just to have air conditioning
Yes,
on
sir.
it.
Yes, sir.
Holy cow!
And then our fleet's 110 buses, and so as we add those,
$500,000.
Obviously, you're going to have to start adding technicians to repair air conditioning,
Right.
and so it's going to add additional people to our transportation staff. But we've planned for that. But that's a big problem. You may have seen on Facebook one of our local grocery stores was donating water and drinks for students in the afternoon on the buses. It's that's a problem and a concern. Some of our bus routes are over an hour long. You put a kid on a bus with. You can open the windows and turn the fans on, but when
Tell
it's
the driver drive as fast as you can legally.
when it's 99 degrees, there's just
It don't matter,
not
does
a
it?
lot you can do,
No.
especially on a bus that's been sitting there for 7 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about the fact it just sits there like a solar heat
Yeah.
collector.
Yeah, and so that's problematic. And then, of course, we have some pretty major construction going on at a few of our schools that has complicated things. But hopefully I can talk about that in a second with the work that a lot of people have done to help us. That's gone about as smoothly as it could go.
You also mentioned that volleyball season, we all know football season's kicking off, but you said volleyball has too. And I was shocked. I didn't know that I never thought about it. Our gymnasium never had air conditioning. It was just had fans. But you've got two big schools with unair conditioned gyms, and then you forget volleyball's played in a gym usually.
Yeah, that's right. We our board voted sometime last year to air condition all of our remaining. We had 7 gyms that were unair conditioned, and they're in the process of finishing that up. 5 of them are done, but like you said, it just so happens Chilton County High School and Jemison High School, our 2 largest schools, were the most complicated projects. And so they're not complete yet, but they will be through before the end of August. Those projects will be through there, but it doesn't do you any good if you're playing. It doesn't get any cool. Luckily at Chilton County High School, their first home game is not until September. All their games are away. I'm not sure about Jemison about how many home games that they have during the month of August. But again, back in the olden days, there was nothing going on in your gym during the summertime.
Yeah.
There weren't volleyball programs. There weren't all these summer play dates, and you played basketball in the winter time, and so nobody thought about it. And then as athletics has grown and become kind of a year-round thing, especially with adding volleyball, and then summer play dates and people practicing during the summer, it's really these gyms that were built in the 60s and 70s, you either got to update them or build something new.
Corey, I was going to say, I bet some of these, that's a challenge for some of these things to retrofit air conditioning into a already built gymnasium.
That's correct, and that's the issues at Chilton County High School and Jemison. That's why they're not finished, because like you said, retrofitting is a lot more complicated. We're actually having to put the units at Jemison on top of the band room and the gym, which is going to cause us to have to put a new roof on the gym, because it would void their warranty as soon as we set the units. And then Chilton County High School is going to have some duct work running it because it's a large gym, and so that's it would be much simpler sometimes to do new construction, but unfortunately, we don't have the space or the funding at those places right now to
But yeah, you
build
can't.
a new gym.
You've got a nice gym. Other than the fact it's not air conditioned, it's hard to say let's raise it to the ground and rebuild one. That's hideously expensive for a building you already have.
Yeah. Well, I drove by Verbena Elementary the other day. How's it coming along?
What's going on there?
Well,
A lot.
A lot. They're getting a 4 classroom addition, and one of those classrooms, which is probably what you saw if you go. One of those is a storm shelter that'll be able to hold every student on the campus. And that classroom, the walls have already gone up in it because it's got to be block, and then the block's got to be poured and reinforced and all that. So that one, you can see the pad for all 4, but that classroom is up out of the ground. And then I think I talked to you about this last time we were here. They don't have a working cafeteria at Verbena Elementary.
Right.
They satellite their food from the high school to the elementary school. And so we're building them a working cafeteria, and then the area where they eat lunch now is kind of their indoor play area. And so if it's raining and bad weather, they're having PE in the lunchroom. And so we're building them an elementary gym as well there so they can use that as a dedicated cafeteria with a kitchen area behind it that we're adding on. And then to the south of the school, as you're driving by it, they'll have an elementary gym there. Yeah. And it's a really big project, but we're so thankful to be able to do that at that campus.
That sounds like that's a big project that's going on there. And you said there's several other big projects you're working on.
Yeah, we're doing a major classroom addition at Thorsby in front of the school, and
that's for elementary too, isn't it?
It'll be a elementary classroom and library addition there to the front of the school, and the problem is that's traditionally been the drop off and pickup area, and so
Time to change that.
and so we have a campus to begin with. It was built for 400 students that has an enrollment of 900.
Really, is it that much bigger than
And-
originally?
Yeah, and then to complicate that, now you can't drop off and pick up where you always have. So, Thorsby Police Department has just been tremendous working with us. The administration at Thorsby put out some videos before the first week of school saying, hey, if you're coming from this direction, this is where you drop off. And we stole that from Clanton Elementary, and suggested that they do that because Clanton Elementary does something very similar, because Temple Road can be a nightmare too, dropping off kids there. And so that really helped. And then the first day of school, not only the Thorsby Police Department, but the County Sheriff's Department had people there helping, and it's gone. I won't tell you it's gone smoothly, because it is what it is, but it's gone about as smoothly as it possibly can.
Yeah.
And then just to throw something in there, we're actually about this. We haven't finished all our football stadium stuff yet, but it's finishing up. But then as soon as that finishes up, we're going to start a classroom addition at Maplesville.
Oh, wow.
Last year they saw their enrollment go up by 90 students, almost 100 students, and a couple of reasons played into that. But they have 4 portable classrooms there right now and we're gonna add 6 elementary classrooms at Maplesville as well. And then not a problem, a good thing, we've started work on our Career Tech Center. If you've driven by on 145.
I was going to ask is that the one off 145?
Yes, sir. It's right beside Jeff State.
Yeah, very good. Now what's going to happen there? What is the goal of that campus?
We would move all our students that are currently at our Career Tech Center out on 22 at Lickford Career Technical Center. We move all those students over to the new Career Tech Center.
What does that include? What is Career Tech? Is it automotive?
We have 13 different Career Tech pathways.
13.
If I start listing them, I'm going to forget somebody and make some of them mad. But we have health science, cosmetology, HVAC, electrical industrial maintenance, robotics.
Is horticulture still?
General construction. We don't have horticulture anymore. Utility lineman, auto service, auto body, welding. I told you I'm gonna forget somebody. There.
I didn't realize it was that much.
I hope they're teaching right now. Oh, and not watching. Teacher training, educator in training.
Oh, cool.
And so when we come over to this campus, Jeff State has built a standalone welding shop that'll allow us to double the number of students that we have. Mr. Gilliland he's a great instructor, and you can only have so many booths that one man can watch. And so we need additional space and an additional body. And so that'll be a standalone facility on Jeff State's side that they're going to allow us to use. And then all of our other programs will be moved over into the new building.
Corey, the talk is, of course, Mike Rowe, the guy that has that beautiful voice that's always done the dirty job stuff. He, for years, has been the guy that's promoted that not every kid should or need to go to college.
That's right.
College is beautiful for a lot of professions and necessary, but not for everyone. And he's talked about how many of these kids can come out of these welding programs, for instance, making amazing money right out of high school. They can be making a living that a lot of people would love to make. And so the training for this stuff you're talking about, the cosmetology, the education, that's an amazing supplement to high school that could save kids lots of money because they don't have to go on and go to a 4-year college and have all kind of debt from college debt, and they can maybe go get 2 more years or a certification and come right out and affordably have a great career ahead of them. Is this a big push? I mean, is that why you're building this separate center?
Yeah, I forgot modern manufacturing as well. So another program that I forgot. So I told you last time I'm a math teacher, and I'll bore you with statistics.
I love statistics.
If the last study that we read over the last 12 years, so that's going to represent a group of kids from kindergarten through 12th grade over the last 12 years. For every 5 people that retire and leave the skilled craft trades,
how many are filling in?
Things that AI can't do. For every 5 that leave, only 2 are coming in.
2 out of 5. They are in a desperate need, and it's getting worse and worse.
And so, and that's not a 1-year thing, or that we blame that on COVID. That's over 12 years, and so that starts to get concerning for everyone.
Right.
You know, when we can't as a county or a state or a country, when we can't make things anymore, when we can't build things and produce things or manufacture things, we're in trouble.
We're in big trouble.
We're in trouble because there's things that a computer's never going to be able to do.
Right.
And so you're going to see there's a tremendous push internally right now towards workforce development. I mean, it's almost all you hear in education and legislative circles being talked about is workforce development, and it's about to become a public thing because you're about to start seeing. I don't think we're going to have shortages because we have the ability to import a lot of things, but the prices we pay for things are going to start affecting all of us, and the question is going to start being asked publicly. I feel like, why aren't we making this here? Why can't we do this cheaper and make this here? Why are we paying so much more to
come from China, Taiwan, or somewhere else?
Yeah, and so
Mexico.
It's about to become a very public conversation. I feel like, just because it's you say, oh well, I got a radio show or I'm an educator, that doesn't affect me. Well, yes, it does. It's going to affect you every time
you buy groceries, you buy a car,
something.
you want to buy a house. I mean, it affects all of us. And you know, what I was shocked at when I went to college. You know, college was not that expensive for me. I don't remember what I played at the University of Alabama, but I mean, it was like I could get by on less than $1,000 a year. That was tuition. Books were a little higher. Now, these poor kids come out of a 4-year degree, and it may be a degree that they really can't apply directly to a job, and they're in debt hundreds of thousands of dollars. They'll never be able to pay it back hardly. And so the fact that you've got these wonderful jobs that are opening up that can pay really well, it's a skilled profession, and you can do it relatively cheaply and early in your life. Oh man, I think that. Now, you talked earlier about the building that storm shelter. Is there, you know, here in Alabama, we do have a lot of tornado problems. Do you have plans for storm shelters in every school, or how does that work? Because I just know you worry about the kids' safety. But again, like we talked about the air conditioning with a pre-built building, you can't just go in easily and create a storm shelter in a school that might be 1,000 kids.
Yeah, so it's code now that when you add a school building, whether and most I'll try to keep it simple. It's code now when you build a standalone building that there has to be a storm shelter area for the occupants of that building.
I got you.
So when you build 4 classrooms, there has to be an area that
All four classrooms
could go in. So what, and I'm not going to take credit for this, Jason Griffin, who was a superintendent before me, Mr. Griffin decided he built a classroom addition at Chilton County High School in Isabella, and he said when he builds a new classroom addition, he's going to make the area that's the storm shelter large enough to get the whole school in it.
Brilliant. So while you're already building,
so
fix the problem.
While you're doing that, so at Chilton County High School, when they built the new ninth grade wing, he made the area where all 800 students could go out there. When at Isabella, he made it where all 750 students go out there. So at Verbena Annex, as we're adding these classrooms, we can get the whole school out there.
Yeah.
At Jemison, in the band room, we could get the whole school in there if we had to. At Thorsby, when we add these classrooms, and at Maplesville, when we add these classrooms, we'll build the storm shelter area where if we had to, we could get every student in there.
That's really smart.
And that's really, like I said, I give Mr. Griffin all the credit for that was his idea or vision to do that, and we've piggybacked off of that. So as we build new buildings, since code requires it for a certain size, we'll just spend a little bit more money and enlarging that area and make sure every occupant in the whole school can
Well,
get in there.
that makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense economically.
Yep.
It really does.
It does. Because I know when you said the classroom or the Verbena building, that was the storm shelter, it crossed my mind, but I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But then when you started talking about, and Bill is asking about having to add them, I was like, oh, wait, what about the other kids? So that is smart. I think a lot of people would wonder that.
Yeah, and normally, like I said, if you've been to Verbena Annex, normally you pour a slab and then you see all the exterior walls start going up
Yeah.
at the same time. But if you go to Verbena Annex, the slabs pour and it looks like they're building 1/4 of the building, but that's the
reinforced. Yeah.
storm shelter area over there. That's it looks like block, but if you went up to it, you would see the rebar in it, and the cores are poured solid with concrete, and it's rated for a EF5 tornado, and actually for missile impact. If
Really?
something, yeah. So
Boy, I know now where
amazing.
I'm going. If something turns weird, I'm going to be heading to Verbena. That's amazing.
Yes.
What is we talked about this when you were on last time. I asked you the same question. Now we're months past this. Let me ask you, what's the biggest challenge you're looking at right now? When you sit down at your desk, what do you go, phew, what's the biggest challenge? If you can level it down to one or two.
No, I think I got you on this one. Our focus. So when I came in 4 years ago, there were obvious academic needs that we needed to address, and our teachers and administrators have done a fantastic job in moving us kind of from, let's say, from a low average position to a high average position, and now it gets tough. Now it gets tough academically to move from.
It's easy to get the needle from a low to a moderate. Now it's fine tuning to get it higher.
Yeah, so now it's, and I say it's hard because if it was easy, everybody would do it and it would have been done a long time ago.
Right.
And so we're at that point now where we're having to focus on, really focus on academic achievement and how to move the needle, exactly like you said, from high average into elite or excellent.
Right.
And it's, if I had all the answers, I'd retire and write a book and get rich, and I don't. And
Well, nobody does really.
Everywhere you call, they're like, man, it sounds like you're doing all that you can. And we have outstanding central office people that are trying things, but unfortunately, everything we do is going to be evaluated on that one standardized test that our kids take in the springtime. There's no holistic look at everything that's going on. It's that one thing.
Is that right? Is that the only thing really schools are judged by? Was that one achievement test or whatever evaluation test that they give every year?
For your school report card, if the thing that they use to look at your academic achievement and your academic growth is one standardized test.
That doesn't seem right.
Third through 8th grade, they're going to look at the ACAP scores, which will be March, April, and 11th grade, they're going to look at ACT scores. And that's where your academic achievement component of your report card will come from. Now, look, the other things our people have been outstanding. Graduation rate, college and career readiness, chronic absenteeism, EL proficiency.
Is all that better?
We're I could not be more pleased, and it's going to get better, but it's it's like
Corey, is none of that taken into account?
It is. It is.
Oh, okay.
That's a portion. That's a portion of your academic report card.
Okay,
but
good.
but we've improved in those areas about as much as you can improve when you've got I'll use graduation rate. When you've got a 95% graduation rate, getting it up to 100, which is our goal, it just
really
doesn't.
hard.
It just doesn't.
Realistically, is that even possible? I mean, there's so many conditions, and you've got students of all types. You've got students with disabilities. You've got students that have terrible home lives. You've got students with no support. You've got students that are high achievers. Is it really possible to have, realistically, a 100%? I would think that if you can hit 98, that's about the best you can realistically achieve.
Let me tell you what I believe.
Yeah, tell me.
I believe we can get 100%.
Can you really?
Yes, sir, I do.
Now, and that's not lowering a standard to make that
sir.
number.
No, sir. I believe with the people we have in place and the supports that we have in place, I believe that a 100% graduation rate is a possible.
That's astounding.
I believe it's achievable. And I say that because I've seen what we've done over the last 3.5 years.
Very good.
And I know the look, and when you start talking about graduation rate, man, now you're not just talking about the superintendent, the central office, and the principals, but we got our guidance counselors involved, our classroom teachers,
teacher.
our career tech teachers helping to find that college and career pathway for our students, our career coaches that we have. So but we've heavily invested in those things.
I love that.
And so, yes, so to complicate it a little bit more, you can't graduate now unless you attain a college and career readiness indicator.
Really? Now, what does that mean?
Okay, so you have to demonstrate that you're ready for college or a career after high school.
Right.
And I think there's 6 ways. I'm gonna forget one. There's different ways you can do this. Okay. If you complete a dual enrollment college course,
Okay.
you obviously have demonstrated I'm ready for college.
Right.
Yeah.
If you make a benchmark score on the ACT, which is what the ACT is, it's a measure of college readiness. If you can make a benchmark score on the ACT, you're demonstrating I'm ready for college. If you enroll in if you're it's not enrolled in military, enlist. If you enlist in the
Right.
military, you've demonstrated I'm ready
For the next step.
For the next step. If you complete a credential at our career tech school, you demonstrate that I'm ready to go to work. If you complete a series of career tech classes, I'll use vocational agriculture as an example. If you take beginner agriculture, intermediate, and advanced agriculture, then with a 70 average, then you've demonstrated I'm ready to go earn a job. And I feel like I'm forgetting one. Oh, if you at Chilton County High School, we have some kids that take AP classes. If you make a qualifying score on AP exam, you demonstrate that you're ready for college. And so the legislature has mandated that you have to do one of those things to earn a high school diploma.
Yeah.
And so not only now your grad rate can't be 100% unless your college and career readiness is 100%.
Yeah, I
Because
see
if you're
that.
not
'Cause
college
you
and
don't
career
get-
ready,
you're not-
you
right,
can't graduate. And so
Wow.
my first year in office when I took over, our college and career readiness was 69%.
Oh, wow.
Okay. This upcoming year it's going to be 96%.
Really?
That's wonderful.
You've come along that far in 3 years.
Yes, sir.
Unbelievable. And I had no idea it was that complicated to technically graduate from high school.
Yes, sir. It's not just a matter of getting all my credits now and passing everything and we hand you a diploma. That started last year. You had to have a college and career readiness indicator to get your diploma.
I think that's wonderful, though, because I feel like a lot of, or especially whenever I graduated 13 years ago, it was like the counselors we had, they only really wanted to work, or the one that I had, she wanted to work with the kids that made the good grades that she knew was going to go to college. But then it seemed like the ones who wasn't sure what they wanted to do just kind of put it on the back burner. So I love that the career tech school is doing so much better now, and that they have a choice, and that there's more options to know like what you can go to college for. Because I feel like a long time for women, it's like, okay, you could be a nurse or you could be a teacher, and that was it. But now there's so much more opening up, and I feel like it makes the kids excited.
It does, and one of the things we have a career coach in all 6 of our high schools now that's
Really?
there every day, that's not rotating, that they're there to get to know those students. And we actually have 2 at Chilton County High School because of the numbers there. But they're there to know those students, to get to know them, find out what they're interested in. And we start in elementary school with career explorations and just letting them know, hey, these are things that people do to earn a living. And then, you know, as they transition into middle school, we start doing interest surveys. Okay, now we told you what people do.
Yeah. Does any of these interest
what
you?
seems
Yeah.
like that would interest you? And then as they move into high school, we start trying to do career preparedness. All right, now that you've thought about what might interest you, what do you think? And I think Bill and I talked about this the last time I was here. When you were 18, you didn't know what you wanted to do. I didn't know. I thought I was going to be a pharmacist.
Yeah.
You know.
I was going to be a dentist.
And I know you said your dad
Yeah.
expected you to be
Yeah.
a
Not real
dentist.
happy that I became a disc jockey.
You know, and
I didn't have a good career counselor.
and so I'm not saying, you know, we're like in Germany where you're in 9th grade, you take some kind of test and they say, okay,
You're gonna be.
going that way
Yeah.
and you're going that way. You know, I don't think we ever need to get to that point, just because from personal experience, I mean, I was 20 before I knew what I wanted to do. I sure didn't know at 14
No.
Yeah.
what I wanted to do. And
When I was 14, I wanted to be a cowboy.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Me too. That's what I wanted to be. You know, we have to be, all of us as we're older now, we know you want to do something that makes you happy, that you enjoy, and a lot of times when you're younger, you don't see that or get that. You see, oh, this job pays a lot of money, or this job's going to let me be outside, or this job's going to let me be inside behind a desk, and you know, without adults in your life that can advise you and say, hey, look, I know you say you want to do this, but this is a very stressful job. You're going to work 14 and 16-hour days doing this. Yes, you make a lot of money, but here's
Are you
why
willing
you
to-
make a lot of money.
Yeah. Are you willing to sacrifice quality of life in some ways if that's not suited to you?
Yeah, it's going to be an additional 8 years of school
College school.
when you get out. You're going to have $300,000 of student debt. Are you prepared for that? I'm sorry. I cut
No,
you
I
off.
agree with you, because I didn't know either. But the thing is, I also didn't really think about it. I was just living life. I was playing baseball and enjoying school, enjoying my activities. I wasn't really, at 14, I wasn't even, it never even entered my brain to think about what I wanted to do for a living. I was living life as it was as a 14-year-old. Yeah. And I think it's great that you start early, at least planting the seed in these kids' head to be thinking, you know, what do I really want to do in life? It doesn't have to be all serious. They don't have to, like you said, put it in stone at 14 what they're going to do the rest of their lives. Many of us think we want to do something even at 25, and 20 years after that, we're doing something different anyway. Mm-hmm. You don't learn what you really want to do sometimes until you've done what you don't want to do for a while.
Yeah. That's a great point that I want to be crystal clear about this, because I mean, you made an outstanding point. Look, kids need to be kids. You only get to be 14 years old one time. You need to enjoy that. So it's a delicate balance in preparing you for adulthood, but also in allowing you to be
a child
and enjoy. You know, I hate to use keywords or whatever, like you need to enjoy the high school experience.
Right. Well, I think it's true.
It's valuable to have a high school experience where the pressures of the world were not on you. You know, you don't have to support a family and earn a wage.
I remember Corey feeling so much pressure because my tornado that I had drawn and built on a piece of cardboard to take to school the next day was, I mean, I felt the weight of the world because it wasn't quite right. And I look back on that, and then 30 years later, I'm trying to pay my bills, my power bill, my mortgage, my car's broken down, at work, the boss is screaming, and you're thinking, oh my God, if I could go back and tell that young guy, sure, you've got to have, try to achieve things, but enjoy your youth because you're an adult forever. You're only a kid one time.
Yeah, and like I said, that's one of the things that makes it so hard to move that needle. Like
right.
we know we've got to push and do things differently to increase our academic achievement, but at the same time, kids need to be kids.
Well, you see,
so it's a delicate balance.
You see with social, and you're fighting something that no one has ever had to fight in the history of humankind. You guys now in education are fighting social media. Yeah. And we talked about this when you were on before about, do you allow kids to have their phones in the classrooms and how does that work and all that? I swear to God, Corey, as I continue to study the studies that are being done on this stuff, the evil power that social media, and I don't mean to sound like you're talking about these cliches, but I swear to God, it's the damage that social media is doing to the psyche of many of these kids. Their learning, their ability to communicate, their ability to see the world. It's unbelievable. I don't know how you guys in education fight that, because it's almost like an evil empire.
Yeah, it is, and I don't have the answers. You can sit there and say, hey, you don't get your self-worth from how many likes you get or thumbs up or how, but
they're living it.
But they live it, and then you see adults that are the same way. They're looking for validation through social media and
everyone else's life looks better than theirs because people only post when they go on vacation or talk about they don't and people think their lives are dull compared to everyone else, and it's everybody's pretty much the same. It's just what the ones. I mean, the psychological implications of what social media is doing, especially to the young brain, scares me. And it's only getting worse because of AI, because now you don't know what's real and what isn't real. It can create anything that looks so realistic that my wife came in the other day and said, "Did you see where Trump was shot today? And he may not survive." And I went, "What?" I mean, I'm on too, and there was nothing. And I looked on so I look, and sure enough, it was somebody had created this thing, and it looked like Donald Trump was laying on the ground, breathing hard and bloody. Yeah. And I couldn't tell. It looked as real to me as if it really was. And this is the kind of stuff that's going to just, I don't know how you fight that in education. I guess the fact is these young people maybe actually develop better recognizing that this stuff isn't real. But these kids, when you see a parent just hand a tablet or an iPad or something to a kid to babysit so they can do something else or whatever, drives me crazy.
Yeah, we said this last time too. So maybe this is for first time watchers. I told you, I think social media is a tool like fire. Yeah. And it can be good.
Can warm you.
It can warm you. It can shine light on things. Cook. Or it can burn your house down.
Burn you down.
And
you're right.
It's all in how you use it and how you choose to use it, and it's here to stay. Yep. We can say we don't like it, we don't use it, but it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Kids are going to use it. the only thing harder than being a kid right now is parenting a kid.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You're right.
It's something new all the time.
Every day.
When we think we've got a handle on, well, I'll just check their phone every day. There's some kind of app, a vault or whatever, where they put things that you can't get to it, or you think, well, I'll read all their text messages.
And the sad thing is, the young people are the ones that are more savvy than the people trying to check on them.
And
Yeah.
you know, kids don't text message anymore. They send snaps
Snapchat.
and they disappear.
Right.
You know, so there's no.
Same thing with the pictures. They show up, they could be something horrible, and then they go away. You can't check what they're doing, DJ.
So they're one step ahead of us.
They are. They're smart. I'd get my grandson to fix my phone and computer when it goes crazy. Now, let me ask you about, speaking of that and the implications of safety and all that, what about your SROs in your schools? What does the county look at as far as the benefit of the SROs, the school resource officers?
Well, we actually we had a principals and administrators meeting yesterday, and we are unbelievably blessed that we have a resource officer in every one of our schools.
Every one of them.
All 14 locations.
Good.
And then we have 2 at Chilton County High School and 2 at Jefferson High School, our 2 largest high schools. So we are unbelievably blessed that our Board of Education fully funds that. Not only does our board fully fund it, our municipalities and our sheriff's office staff that. So we have a great working relationship with them. So kind of as a set aside before I answer your question, unbelievably blessed to have that set up. But then I talked to our principals yesterday, and I said, look, I have to stress that the SRO is not the sole person responsible for safety and security in that classroom, in the school. Every adult in that building, the most important job they have is the safety of our students.
Right.
Every one of them. You know, we got to emphasize to our custodians, if you see something that doesn't look right, you got to let somebody know. Teachers, we got to be monitoring our area all the time, and we always have to be vigilant, because you just never know when there's a problem or where there's a problem. And it's the SROs are visible. Everybody, I think, knows that we have them. If you come to one of our schools looking for trouble, you will find it with an SRO there. But still, every adult has to be vigilant.
Do y'all have any formal training for the teachers and custodians, or is it just awareness?
We have compliance monitoring that they do as a requirement. Some videos and things that they watch. Our SROs train during the summer. We allow them. We allow agencies from all over Central Alabama to come. They came to Clanton Middle School this summer to train for worst case scenarios that you hope you
never have to deal with. Right.
You never have to deal with, but to know that we're trained and prepared. And we have a meeting every summer with me, our safety coordinator, and our chiefs and SROs, where we talk about communication, again, in worst case scenarios. When things happen that are serious, we debrief afterwards. We had a threat at one of our schools last year that was unfounded. There was nothing to it, but we had to react. We had to put the school on lockdown for about half the day while it was investigated, and everything was fine. There were no problems whatsoever, but we identified a couple of things we could have done better.
Well, that's the beauty of that. It may have been an unfounded reason for the lockdown, but when you go through the process of utilizing what you've set up, you do find when there's kinks in the armor or things you could do better. So, it's a good thing, and you play it on the safe side.
Is there anything that you want the public or the parents of kids that are in public education to know about, like during lockdowns, or if something is happening at the school that they may not know?
Yeah, the first thing we're going to do is make sure all of our students are safe. When we go into lockdown, we're gonna make sure the building is secure, that our students are as safe as they can be. And so, I'm not dumb. I know what happens. They're not supposed to have phones at school, but they do.
Right.
Or they have their computers and they email and they let their parents know, hey, we're
In lockdown.
we're in a lockdown, and we need parents to trust. Hey, if we're in a lockdown, it's for a reason. It could be a multitude of things. It could be for medical reasons. We could have a student that's passed out in the middle of the hall,
Had a seizure,
and we just need everyone to stay in their classroom. There could be an upset parent in the office that's
Yelling.
raising their voice that we don't want to embarrass a student, or it could be something serious. So the first thing you know is we're going to make sure all of the kids are safe. Then if it's a legitimate, like, we're worried about something, we're turning communication over to the sheriff's office,
Right.
because they're going to speak for the group, and so we're going to turn communication over to them until there's nothing, until everything is clear. And then once everything is clear, then sheriff's department make a statement, and then the school will make a statement.
And that goes back to y'all meeting in the summer. So that's not the school staff getting freaked out and calling 911. That's
No.
part of the plan.
That's part of the plan, and the situation that we had last year, we actually said, hey, public and parents, we need you to avoid the school area. Well, then there was a heightened sense of, oh, well, for sure something's going on. Well, there wasn't, but we,
Right.
as a school system and as a police department, they couldn't put out, this is what we're looking into.
Yeah.
And so,
Corey, I would think then that when you if a school has to go down on a lockdown, and as you said, it could be for a myriad of reasons, some of them not particularly like dangerous for the students, it's just to control access and for medical reasons. I would assume the last thing you'd want a parent to do is jump in the car and drive to the school.
yeah, and look, I'm a parent. I have a ninth grade son, and that's hard. That's hard.
You have to
and
trust that they're going to be taken care of.
and I can sit here and tell 7,600 parents, hey, your child's safe. We're making sure they're safe. You don't have to come up here. But I get it. I understand. I wish, as the superintendent, I wish you'd say, okay, I trust the school. They got, but I understand. I'm not upset. I don't get mad.
Right.
I don't get mad about that.
Yeah.
I understand.
But it can complicate
It does
things in a
complicate
negative
things,
way.
and if as a parent you come to school, I'm here to get my kid, and we tell you, I'm sorry, you can't get them right now. We're in lockdown. Please don't get upset with me. I understand that you felt like you had to come up there, but just understand we're putting other people at danger, including you.
Well, worst
Yeah.
case scenario, you don't want people, if they're trying to control the building and the access to it, and people start flowing in there, that just makes it a nightmare for the police and the sheriffs that are trying to control the situation and keep the kids safe.
Yeah.
So,
And I think people's fight and flight too, though, is their brain cuts off and they don't think, oh, well, now I'm the reason for the secondary lockdown. I'm up here acting hostile trying to get my kid.
And so we had a, I guess this was 2 years ago. I'll be vague, but we had a situation where a student got a text message from a number that they didn't know, and it said something to the effect of, get out now and stay safe.
Oh my
And
goodness.
and this was a high school student, and so she took it to the resource officer and the principal, and we placed that school on lockdown, and we started, and of course, it spreads like wildfire. Again, I totally understand. I got a kid in public school system here that I get it. When everything was fleshed out and investigated, and our, like I said, our sheriff's department, awesome job. before the end of the day, a lady had sent a text message. She thought she was sending it to her son in Louisiana. There was a hurricane about to hit. And she had dialed one number off and had sent it to one of our students by accident. And she thought she was text messaging her son to tell him the hurricane's about to hit. Get out now and stay stay safe. And that was the whole situation. But
unbelievable.
We did exactly what we should have done.
Yeah.
And if you're a parent, I'm sure they were lined up outside the school trying to get their students out of there. I understand, but I hope parents understand. Look, stuff like that happens, and we have to.
You're playing it on the safe side.
Yeah, we have to be as safe as we possibly can. And that was that was probably a 3 or 4 hour thing, getting all that.
What a mess.
Settled out.
From a stupid mistake.
A silly mistake that any one of us
could have done. I've misdialed so many times.
Yeah.
So I want to just ask this because it's just a curiosity thing. All the school SROs, school resources, are policemen or sheriff's deputies. So are they on the job at the school being paid by the school system, or are they being paid by the sheriff's or the municipality's police department? And is there any reimbursement? How does the financing for that work? Or is that just part of their job?
Okay. They are employees of the municipalities and the county sheriff's department.
Okay.
They are police officers.
And sheriff's deputies.
They are officers. Okay. We reimburse the municipalities and the sheriff's office 100% of their salary.
Really?
And so that makes them their employee, but the school system
you're paying for them.
pays.
That's amazing.
Reimburses them for that, so that they can work during the summertime. They can do other things for the municipality or the sheriff's department during the summertime or during weekends, things like that.
Well, I have a lot of friends that are police officers and firemen. I'm first responders. I'm a member of the FOP, Fraternal Order of Police, and I've known a bunch of guys that were, all the ones I know were men, but there are men and women who are the SROs. Do you know, a few of them, when they first became SROs, they almost looked at it like a demotion in a sense. They were coming off patrol. Every single one of them, Corey, came out of there going, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever done in law enforcement in my life, because they saw the effect they had on so many students, many of whom only contact or knowledge of the police was negative from older siblings or their parents or of what they thought in their community about cops. And then they find out these are real people that really care about these kids, and it turned everything around for both the students and the officers. And I know many of them now that said it's the greatest thing they've ever done in their law enforcement career was be an SRO.
Yeah, we have some of the I'd put some of our SROs up against anybody. We have some outstanding SROs. And of course there are, like you said, there's young guys that want to be on the road. They want to be chasing bad guys, and I get that. Hey, I went into law enforcement to do this. I get it, but then some of them, man, they're difference makers in our school.
Yep.
They're not just a police presence and a deterrent. They're difference makers, and like you said, it's so rewarding for us to be able to see that. Well, I know times have changed. You said there was a time where all little girls wanted to be nurses and teachers. Well, there was a time when all little boys wanted to be firemen and policemen.
Yeah.
And we lost that somewhere. I don't know if it's...
Well, the police
don't
and firemen
respect
we lost respect for them as a profession, and it's what they do.
And, that's, I was playing fire trucks before I was in school.
Me too.
And I don't know how that happened, where that happened, but I think our SROs are a valuable tool in
turning that
around with our young people, especially in the elementary and intermediate school setting, they are, they're extremely visible. And then I was at a football game last night, 2 county schools playing, and not only were the SROs there, some of the guys that used to be SROs that have been promoted and moved up, they're there on the sidelines too, just to be a part of things, and that's special.
Well, we're about out of time here, Corey. First of all, let me say thank you so much for spending so much time with us and getting us updated. Anything you'd like to, we hadn't talked about, anything you'd like to say about this beginning of this school year that we hadn't touched on?
Just logistically, for all the people that made things go smoothly, that includes parents too. Our attendance at opening houses and things were through the roof this year. The participation we had from parents, that helps so much when school starts, that parents have been to those orientations and opening nights, and the people that have helped logistically make this a smooth start. I want to say thank you to them, principals, assistant principals, SROs, bus drivers, everybody that works traffic in the morning, volunteers that are flagging traffic, the people that have made that so smooth, knock on wood. That part of school opening, I think, was smoother this year than it's been in 4 years, and it could have been a nightmare with some of the things we have
all the
going,
construction
going
and the
on.
change of
Because, like I said, the Temple Road area here in Clanton is just going to be problematic because you've got 4 schools right there. But even that, the parents and the administration have been so good about that, and so just want to say thank you to everybody who has made it a smooth logistical trip. Now look, we've had problems, don't get me wrong, but they haven't been logistic or management problems. It's been other things. So thank you.
We don't pay our teachers enough. We don't respect them a lot of times as much. I tell you, most people can look back on their lives and they've had teachers that made a major change in their lives, that inspired them, that gave them confidence, that helped them in so many ways. It may have been subtle at the time, and then you look back and it was a big mover that you don't think about in the time you're doing it. But we appreciate all you guys are doing from the top down for educating and keeping our students safe and educating them and making them good citizens and helping them become the best they can be. Thank you for that, Corey, and thank you to everyone under you and your staff and everybody. Like you said, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, and thank you for having me this morning. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate Baden and what he does for our schools.
Thank you. Well, y'all have been tuning in to Morning Mayhem. It is 8:04, so we are officially done for the week. And we hope you have a good weekend. Stay dry if it continues to rain. And if not, then get out and enjoy the cooler weather. So we'll see you Monday at 6 a.m.